Hi everyone, I want you to go get your can opener and we are going to open up Aquarius today. I want to also invite you into deep self-reflection with me because I'm going to ask you a personal question. I want to ask you, where in your life are you different from everyone else? What pocket of this world are you different and unique? Where does life not show up for you in the usual ways? This place in your life may be governed by Aquarius energy, and we're going to talk all about it. Hi everyone, I am Meredith with Soul Navigation. I am your evolutionary astrologer. I love so much that you're choosing to learn real astrology with me. New, in-depth, deeper than deep content right here every single Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And if you don't want to remember when to tune in and where to go and what to do, just please subscribe and hit the bell and you'll get your notification. I don't want you to miss out. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Aquarius. And just so you know, every single person has Aquarius, some Aquarius in their chart somewhere. You should watch this video in two different ways. One, if you are involved with an Aquarius, if your partner, your lover, your wife, your husband, or you're just crushing on one, so you can gain and glean more deeper insight about your Aquarius love. And Aquariuses are baffling. They act like they don't like you, but they actually really do. And I'm going to teach you how to know the difference. And the second way in which I want you to watch this video, I want you to go look at your natal chart so you can know which planets and which houses you have Aquarius in. And if you don't know, you can just go over to the internet, type it in, and you can go get a free one. Or you can go to my website at soulnavigation.com and you can just click on the shop tab and you can buy an absolutely gorgeous natal chart that I designed for you that's super easy to read. It's a great way to say thank you and support the channel. You can find the link below. The bottom line is I want you to know, which house do you have Aquarius in? It's important for you to know where Aquarius is in your chart because this is where you are going to be massively unique. This is where you're going to rebel against the masses. This is where you will not conform to the rules and to the regulations that others want to place upon you. This is where you're a maverick. This is where you're going to make it up as you go. You will be a little bit odd, quirky, or innovative or different. And this is where you will also experience a little bit of torment and the feeling of alienation for being different from others. This is also the place in your life where you can really and truly individuate, where you can be autonomous and you can be ferociously independent. And this is where you can and probably will and do go against the grain. So this would be a really good time for you to leave down below in the comments section where, by which house you have Aquarius. And even if you don't have any planets in that house, you still have Aquarius somewhere in your chart, and that house will show us the arena of that part of your life. It's also important to know if you have any planets in Aquarius because those planets also represent different parts of you. And if you're already feeling overwhelmed, oh my gosh, go start binge watching all of my videos so you can learn all about astrology and how it really truly works. I should tell you that you can know the planets by your birthday, but you can only know your houses by your birth time. And you will need to know your birthplace in addition to your birth time to truly understand how the houses are divvied up. Okay, we are going to have so much fabulous, quirky fun today. Are you guys ready? Let's dive in. We're going to talk first about what is so wonderful about dating an Aquarius and what is so wonderful about that part of your life. And then we're going to talk about what is just so darn difficult and maddening to be involved with an Aquarius, and also what's hard about that part of your life. Then I'm going to talk about how do you get rid of an Aquarius if you are just sick of them, and also if you got dumped by an Aquarius, why that is most likely so. So I hope you're ready to dive into the deep end of the pool with me. So here we go. Now you all know I happen to love a good Aquarian. I love Aquarians so much I decided to marry one. And my Aquarian videos are some of the most popular videos on my channel. Okay, maybe the very nicest thing about being involved in dating and loving your Aquarian is they give you the true freedom to truly be you. Healthy Aquarians really and truly do not want to change you. I think they're very similar to Geminis like that, but even more so. If they like you for you being you. And they will not try to change all the things about you that they originally liked. Other signs will like you because you're outgoing, and then 6 months later, they're really annoyed because you're so outgoing. That's not like Aquarius. And it is so refreshing. This is the sign that is the nonconformist. They're not going to live by a lot of rules and regulations, except their own quirky ones, which seem to change on the daily. But they really love their freedoms, so they grant those freedoms to you too. Free love, free thinking, free speech, free choice, freedoms. And they're truly inspiring when it comes to exercising personal freedoms. They do not want to be enslaved, nor do they want to enslave you. And I will tell you, it is very difficult, kind of like Taurus, to indoctrinate an Aquarius into your way of thinking. Actually, any way of thinking except their own. They are part of the fixed sign, and there's a cross with the fixed signs. So we have Aquarius and Leo and Taurus and Scorpio. And those people are very, just like it says, fixed in their own opinions, in their own ways. I do think another beautiful thing about being involved with an Aquarian is they are staunchly against injustice, similar to Sagittarius, but even more of an activist. Sagittarius can be kind of an armchair philosopher, where Aquarius is more boots on the ground with the megaphone, leading the march. This is not always true, but this is a feeling that you get from them. They will take a stance for what they believe in. They will be very, very loud about it. Aquarians are the cool cats of the zodiac. Unlike Cancers or Tauruses or Pisces, those signs crave bonding to similar energy as their own. Those are the like attracts like signs. Aquariuses really demand and desire complete control and autonomy of themselves. They operate as this completely separate unit from their partner, even when they're deeply, deeply in love. And we're going to talk about this being kind of a negative thing too, but this can be so refreshing. They are the most likely sign to keep their autonomy inside a bond. And while this can be quite confusing and even upsetting to some, it really is, when it's healthy, it's quite a beautiful thing. Aquarius is the least likely sign to give up or to sell out or to compromise their own unique identity. Please tell me if you can relate. I think it does leave the whole rest of the zodiac sort of in awe of them. It's in this way that they receive a lot of respect for not compromising their values, their mission, their belief, their creativity. Tell me if you are an Aquarius or have a lot of Aquarius. Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising, Aquarius sun sign, Aquarius Mercury, Venus, Mars, even Jupiter, or if you have a lot of planets, doesn't matter the sign, in the 11th house. This can leave many other zodiac signs feeling skeptical or cynical about, do they really love me? Does my Aquarius really love me? Because they are so autonomous. But Aquariuses are some of the most faithful signs of the entire zodiac because they're fixed. It is such a breath of fresh air. It is so refreshing to be involved with someone who really does not run their world. Their juice is not envy or jealousy. Aquarians are not usually envious of other people because they really like their own lives. They like their own problems. They like their own oddities and uniqueness. They don't want to trade out for some mediocre other person. They don't even really want to trade out for some fabulous person. They like being different. They like being unique. They don't want your problems or your situation or even your lover. And that's usually how it goes. If they have a lot of Capricorn in their chart, it keeps them even more faithful. If they have a lot of Pisces in their chart, maybe not so much. But if you really are looking for a partner who does not have a lot of jealousy running through their veins, somebody who is happy for you being you, even if it's different from them, then you're going to enjoy hanging out with your Aquarius because they will celebrate you being you. They will celebrate your victories. You could be the preppy prom queen or the homecoming queen, and they can be the hippie who smokes cigarettes and barely attends their classes. And they are truly happy for you in your own definition of yourself, where they would never, ever, ever, ever want that thing for themselves. They don't necessarily want to be prom queen or king or homecoming king or queen, but they are genuinely and deeply and truly happy for you and your victory, even though it's not a personal victory that they would want for themselves. I mean, that's pretty gorgeous. That's pretty freeing. That's pretty spectacular. That's pretty remarkable. And that is if your Aquarian is healthy. I kind of think that's why my Aquarius husband, who never really knew about astrology and the power of astrology, he barely knew his sun sign. I think he only knew his sun sign. He's like, oh, I think I'm a Aquarius or something. Isn't that a water sign? On our first date, right? It's like he can now really embrace and appreciate my work. He doesn't study it as deeply. He doesn't study it as deeply as I'd like him to, but he celebrates it and he loves it. And he's not embarrassed by it or even shy about it. That he also promotes it. Like when he's out and about, he talks a lot about, what sign are you? Oh, my wife says this about Virgos. Or, oh, you should watch my wife's Capricorn video. You're a Capricorn? Oh, look at my wife's Capricorn video. It's really cute. Now, here's the really interesting part. Aquariuses are so smart. They're some of the most intelligent signs of the zodiac, and they love statistics and problems, solving problems, mysteries and riddles and science problems and math equations and technical challenges and the Rubik's Cube, right? And strategies and analytics and cosmic questions and on and on and on. And even mechanics, if you will. However, if you want to discuss, now we're getting into a little bit around what's hard. I'm kind of mixing it in here. If you want to discuss the deeper emotional problems in life, unless they have a lot of Pisces in their chart, you will find that it is very difficult for your Aquarius person, lover, to go into the emotional deep. Yeah. Are they capable of it? Absolutely, especially if they have Pisces in their chart or if they have water in their chart. So do you have water in your chart? So that's Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. If you have a lot of water in your chart, you probably, and you're an Aquarius, you probably can go there. But if you don't, it's probably very difficult to open you up. That's why I told you to bring your can opener. In truth, they don't really like talking about relationships and they don't really like going too deep. They don't like the dramatic. They don't like the icky, sticky, gooey, wooey drama of a relationship or of emotions. They're uncomfortable with the mushy gushy. Yeah, they just, they can't handle it. It is so uncomfortable. You know, they don't like that abyss of your dramatic hysteria. They can't handle it all. They have almost no ability to go into the drama of a relationship. Do you have Aquarius in your chart? Can you please leave a comment for other people so they can grow and learn and they can see that I'm telling the truth? That's why a lot of Aquarians have to cut you loose. And we'll talk about that in more detail in a minute, but they just cannot do emotional drama very well. They don't have the bandwidth for it. Sometimes they'll cut you loose and you haven't even been dramatic. Well, that's because they got a glimmer, a glimpse, a hint, a sniff, a whiff that you might become dramatic. And they can't handle it. It's like, even if they think you're capable of being too emotionally like cray-cray, out there, hysterical, like hurt feelings, too sensitive. Oh my God. If they get just a whiff of it, they're like, nah, can't handle it. Nah. And wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, you're going to be a little bit like this. You're going to be cool. You're going to be detached. You're going to be loyal. You're going to be smart. You're going to be unique. You're going to be very individualistic. And this is probably where you will rebel in your life, where you will be different in your life, and where you will have this unique nonconformist way about yourself, and where you're not going to like a whole lot of drama. You are going to find them to be, and this is where you will be, very, very witty. And it is a dry wit. It is an intelligent and astute wittiness. You will also see that this is the part of you that has a vision for life way beyond your own self. It's very rare to find a self-absorbed Aquarius. Do you have a self-absorbed Aquarius? It's very, very rare. I have seen a self-absorbed Aquarius moon person, but they were a Leo, and another one was a Cancer, and another was a Taurus. But if you find an Aquarius that is so focused on self, that means they have had to have been more selfish for self-preservation because they don't want to be taken advantage of, or they don't want to be used, or quite frankly, they don't want to follow your agenda. because they don't know where it's going to lead them. They will not compromise themselves usually. And so that can feel quite selfish. But really, that's more comes from self-preservation. And I have to say, so many people say Aquarius is not romantic, but that is just flat out not true. Trust me, that is not true. They just do romance like everything else a little bit differently. They're going to parent children differently. They're going to manage their money differently. They're going to follow the directions to the cafe that you're going to differently. Oh my gosh, when I'm driving with my husband, I'm wondering why he doesn't cut through and go the back way, because Sagittariuses are all about shortcuts. And instead, he likes to take the freeway and go all the way around and go down the hill and then arrive. And I'm like, why do you want to go that way? And he's like, I don't know. I just felt like it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll let you be in charge of directions. It's just funny. They take you on the quirky way. They're also not mundane and usually not boring. I mean, they might celebrate Christmas in the summer. It's so Aquarian to not want to take your tree down, right? And just have Christmas every day. They might celebrate your birthday on your half birthday. They might take you on a surprise fantasy trip. They love surprises and they kind of like to shock you around being different. I think that's why my husband takes the quirky way. He just likes to surprise me, keep me on my toes. It's not going to be the same way all the time, Meredith. These people are not going to do commercial holidays very well. They can, especially if they have Pisces or Capricorn, they'll be more likely to go down to the Hallmark card shop and get you the romantic card and all of that. But I think a lot of Aquariuses don't really like the commercialization that occurs with holidays. Will you Aquarians tell me if that's accurate? I want you to be prepared to be surprised. And if you don't like surprises or differences or being different or them doing their unique way or them turning left when you want them to turn right, this is definitely not the sign for you. So let's talk about why Aquarius is so difficult. Those are a few magical and enchanting ways about them. But if you want to know more about what's so darn good about Aquarius, I want you to watch my Venus in Aquarius and also my Aquarius Soulmates video and Aquarius in Love. I go into a lot of the yummy, juicy stuff in those 3 videos. So let's talk about right now why Aquarius is just so difficult. First, you should know this is probably the most commitment phobic sign that there is. And I have to say, it is very, very easy for you to get your feelings hurt by Aquariuses unless you have super thick skin or a very individuated, independent personality. So if you're going to be involved with an Aquarius, you have got to have your own fiery passions to light your own personal bonfire. You have to get consumed by your own passions and your own self. And if you can do that, you probably can create a really beautiful relationship with an Aquarius. But Aquarius does not do codependency. They don't. Unless they've got a big amount of Pisces in their chart, then it'll be a lot of codependency. But Aquarians don't do codependency. Aquarians don't even know that they hurt your feelings when they are mean or cruel or distant or shut down. And they can be all of that. And they're not always doing that because they don't care about you. They're doing that because they are assuming that you're just like them. They forget that, oh, you need more sweetness and softness and connection. Oh, there's this thing called a bond. Oh God, I forgot. So if you just leave them to themselves, they kind of feel like a icy cold glacier. When they're not healthy, they can easily forget about you. Aquarians lack a sensitivity chip. They do, unless they have a lot of Pisces in their chart, which a lot of them do have a lot of Pisces in their chart. So take a look at that and see if you are an Aquarian or you have a lot of Aquarian planets in your chart. Do you also have a lot of Pisces in your chart? And if you do, you won't be able to relate to this whole video. And that's why we don't do sun sign astrology. Because if you have a lot of Pisces in your chart, you're going to be a much more sensitive Aquarian. And you know that you have to blend the entire chart. You have all 12 signs in your chart. So back to what is so damn difficult about being involved with an Aquarius. If you prefer to bond and they prefer to be independent, you can really clash. And you, my friend, the one that wants to bond, can really get your feelings hurt. When I say Aquarians can be cold as ice, I mean it. You need a crowbar to get into this thing called a heart. Trying to find a grain of rice in a haystack. I mean, it is so difficult to find their tenderness, their sweetness, their vulnerability, and their emotional connection sometimes. They weren't taught. They got this amputated from them, so they don't do it very well. Some Aquarians who were were raised by mamas that poured that into them, they've learned it and they can do it. But a lot of Aquarians were taught independence, and so they cut off their emotions. And if you really want to understand that psychology, watch my Aquarius rising video. It's really deep, and it's one of my most popular videos on my channel. When an Aquarian is unhealthy, they are oblivious. And when they are oblivious to your needs, understanding that they need to reveal themselves. They don't get how to be emotionally vulnerable. They are cut off. They will leave you with the feeling constantly and chronically of, am I really loved by you? Do you really even like me? Do you dig me? Because they are sort of friends with everyone. They can meet a stranger and come home and tell you all about this new best friend that they made and how glorious and great and wonderful and amazing they were. And now they're best buds. And you're like, oh my God, how can you be so enamored when you haven't even had a conversation with me in a week? Other signs get very jealous of Aquarius, and Aquarius is oblivious to even why this happens. It's because they make friends with the mailman, and they make a deeper connection with the mailman, or at least they let you think that, than they do you. They can leave the relationship while still being in it. You can feel so damn alone and disconnected inside your relationship. It's that loneliness that can live inside the relationship. Have you guys experienced that before? Have you been involved with an Aquarius before? I have to say, thank God my husband is not like this. He has a really diverse chart. He has a Leo moon. So not every Aquarius is like this. However, I will say I have seen the Aquarian energy work sort of in a silo with him and with other people. He can easily cut other people off in ways I could never. Aquariuses are so out of the box and so unordinary, if you will, and they pride themselves on it so much that if you're actually trying to kill your Aquarian, go with me, and please forgive me if you don't already know my sick sense of humor. But if you're actually trying to, 86 your Aquarian, you don't need a gun, you don't need a knife, you don't need a rope, you don't need the San Francisco Bridge. Nope. All you need to do is this. All you need to do is call them ordinary, call them average, call them mediocre, or even worse, typical. In all seriousness, Aquariuses are so offbeat and elusive and so difficult to catch. They are the slipperiest fish you've ever caught. Like, I caught it, yay! Wait, oh my God, it got away. How did it get away? Ah, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Nowhere to be found. Back in the ocean, swam away. Yep, it's over. And they don't live by consensus, so they can be just maddening. They have a bit of anarchy, and so they certainly aren't going to be coachable. They're not going to listen to you and your conventional rules and regulations. No. And while this sounds all sexy and fun, and by the way, they pride themselves on this, they're going to package this up as if this is just a really sexy thing, right? It is absolutely maddening, especially if you're one of the signs that cares about what your friends or family thinks. If you need your friends or family approval, if you care about if your family will like your Aquarius, and if your Aquarius will fit in with your family values, chances are they won't. So there can be big conflicts here. And I'm telling you, it's a little bit painful to go against the grain, and it's exhausting. So Aquarians can be very tiring for the rest of the zodiac. You have to build up a lot of guts if you're going to go against the grain. And we're not usually born this way. So we usually have to develop the guts and the confidence to own the Aquarian parts of our chart and go against the grain and question the rules and question the system. And this doesn't usually happen until a little tiny bit later in your life, at least 18. But Aquariuses, I want you to spill the beans and tell us if this is true and if you can relate, and leave a comment down below for everybody else to sort of understand. And have you been accused of being sort of a robot, not having any feelings, being so intellectual, neurodiverse, if you will, that you are missing the whole emotional aspect of life? If so, would you guys be so willing to tell us about it? It is so painful to be involved with somebody who just doesn't know how to go there, who's just oblivious to the needs of other people inside intimacy. They can understand what the group needs, what the world might need, what the cosmos might need, what the trees might need, what the collective needs. But to do real intimacy, this is their Achilles heel. This is the part of life that they need to learn about. And this is where they oftentimes fall short. And they usually know this about themselves. But Aquarians, do not lose faith. You now have me. And if you guys want help reading your whole entire chart, you can book a reading with me or anybody on my team over at soulnavigation.com. Just go check us all out. Go check out our website and you can see everybody on the team and get a reading and get to know yourself a little bit more. I want you to own that quirky, odd, unique, different piece of yourself, that part of yourself that shows up differently than what society or your parents or your family or your partner says you should be. Also, I should say that if you can't afford a reading, you could go check my shop tab and you could buy the starter package or the Advanced Astro Gold Package or the Soulmates Package or the Lovers Package. They are so good. And you could learn so much about yourself and your lovers and where all the planets and the signs and the houses are. Just go check it out in my shop on the shop tab at soulnavigation.com. Or you could just click the notes below. I'm just so happy that you're on this journey learning astrology and learning about your deeper self with me. And I want to thank you. I talk a lot about what is really hard about each of the signs because I want you to know astrology in the most truthful of ways. So right now I want to talk about if you got dumped by an Aquarius. I can pretty much tell you that it's probably boiled down to just a few reasons. Your emotions are probably too close to the surface for Aquarius to want to deal with. This is not a statement about you as much as it's a statement about them and their emotional capacity to handle your emotions or your emotional outbursts. If it's not that you're too emotional or you have emotional demands or you just need more from them, most Aquariuses leave because you need more. And more usually means more of a bond, more time, more affection, more energy, more connection, right? Like they can't get away with just being the cold, cruel monster. That's joking. They can't get away with just being the cold, cool, oblivious partner, right? They have to oh, I connect with you. I show you my soul. Yeah, that's really hard for them. The other reason would be because you, my sweet friend, probably tried to control them in some way, and they will not be controlled. They are not going to play by your rules. So if you have to have a lot of rules and regulations, it's going to be tough. I want to know if there's any Aquariuses out there that are in a happy relationship with somebody who has a lot of Capricorn in their chart, because that's a tough combination. Now, if you're a Capricorn, but you have a lot of Aquarius, then it can work. And maybe you guys meet in that arena. Maybe they have a lot of Capricorn in their chart too. But Aquarius and Capricorn energy, even though they share the same ruling planet, Saturn, Aquarius also gets Uranus. Aquariuses are not going to play by your rules. So did you enforce your own rules on them? That is so suffocating. That's like, yeah, choke me. They can't handle all your energy on them, emotionally or the rules. They need a partner that can take big timeouts and big separations. And I always describe the Aquarius as being the white space in a book. The white space, because it's like without the white space in the book, you can't see the text. And the other person is the black text. And the Aquarius is the white space all around, the black ink. And without the white space, again, you cannot make out the letters. They need space. And if Aquarius broke up with you, there is some small or large way that they felt you took up too much of their personal space, and they only have so much bandwidth. They can barely manage their own lives, let alone manage their life and your life and the relationship's life, right? This is not the Taurus video, people. This is not Cancer's video either. This is the Aquarius video, yeah. If you don't want to kill off your Aquarius, but you just want to dump them and get rid of them, it's really pretty easy to do. This is one sign that you can get rid of pretty easily. It's a little bit like Sagittarius. Aquariuses are usually in perpetual motion and they will barely even notice that you're standing still. The first way that you could dump your Aquarius is you just simply be busier than them. Now, this is going to take a lot of vitamins and a lot of extra energy, like get your sleep the night before so you can stay busier. But just be unavailable. And it's going to take them quite a long time to realize that you're actually not available due to their own availability. Like I said, I think I said something like that in my Dating a Sagittarius video. But really, all you have to do is just tell your Aquarius that you need some alone time, just a little bit of space, honey. By the way, that's their favorite word, space. And you're just going through some stuff and you just need a little bit of a time period of alone so you can get your stuff together. They're not going to question you. No, they're not going to ask you a million details about, well, what and how and are you hurting? They're not going to give you the third degree. They'll just say, okay, that's cool. You chill out and you let me know when you want to talk again or see me again, and just let me know and I'll be there for you. When you don't call for 2 weeks, they'll start to get concerned. But it may take 3 or 5 weeks for them to actually pick up the phone or text you and say, hey, is something actually wrong? They don't really like emotions and dealing with the deep emotions and all that, as I mentioned, and not the ooey gooey ones. And so they probably aren't even going to ask you if anything's wrong. They're just going to text you and say, hey, I got 2 concert tickets. You want to go? You want to hang out? Or hey, the brew pub, or, hey, the surf is up, or, you want to go? It'd be great if you wanted to go. And you could just say that, your uncle who lives in Jamaica or Thailand or the Bahamas, the one that you actually never mentioned before, but somebody in some faraway place with wherever this cell phone does not work Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Thursday afternoons. And you need an extended vacation. You need to travel there for an extended period of time, right? So then you're just going to go silent. They will get so preoccupied with their own life, with the things that are just right in front of them. Their schedule eventually is just going to get so busy that you can just fade to black. No drama. No conversation, no emotional ooey gooey, no, just fade. Yeah, that's probably going to be your easiest way to dump your Aquarius. Nobody's going to shed any real tears, right? Except you, if you love them. Wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, you can cut ties fairly easily. I want to ask you, as an Aquarian, this is an honest question. When's the last time you cried? That's my question. When is the last time you cried? If you're involved with an Aquarius, how many times have you seen your Aquarius cry? Then I want you to go check out their Pisces. Aquariuses, they just don't cave to emotions very easily. My stepdad is an Aquarius. He's been my stepdad since I was 10 years old, 45 years. After 60 years old, I saw him cry all the time. It's so sweet. He cries almost every single time I see him, which is quite frequently since he only lives 5 miles from me. But Aquariuses grow. They really grow. And they get sentimental over time. And that's because they progress into Pisces. They start to soften and they start getting sentimental. Healthy Aquarians, or Aquarians that have water in their chart, they really can learn the emotional side of life. But if you're involved with an Aquarius that has not developed the emotional connection into their heart, it can feel so cold. I mean, it makes a Scorpio look warm and fuzzy and mushy gushy. It really does. Hopefully we can help our Aquarians feel safe getting emotionally vulnerable. I hope that you're a safe place for your Aquarian. I also want to say thank you to my super supporters and my superstar supporters. And are you coming to my Astro Party? I cannot wait to meet you or to see you again. I love having you here. We are having a free Astro Party for all my members, and I hope you're enjoying all the members only content, videos, and perks that you get. And if you're not one, I hope you will consider joining this beautiful community. I love you, Aquarians, so much. I know you already know that. You're some of my very favorite people. And I just wish you the very, very best. From my house here in Seattle to wherever you are at in the world, I am so glad you found me and I found you. Take good care. Bye for now.